Now the microphone works. Good job, Apple. Good job. Most advanced tech company in the world, and you guys are... hello there. Welcome to the most optimistic live stream on YouTube, stream. And we do talk, so I want people to stay here to listen to me give my thoughts on nearly everything. However, the real thing that this stream is about, that a lot of the newbies forget, is that we're about eating paper. And trust me, for anyone who's new here, I intend to deliver. So the camera right here, looking to the left of the... I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh shit, hold on. I have to like pause the here. How do I do, can you just pause? There we go. I guarantee you the beginning of that sounded evil. Now the microphone works. Good job, Apple. Great, okay, great. I'm still working out this technology. Very cool. We're gonna have that. For what you just heard is just something that I have prepared specifically for when we have new viewers. Speaking of new viewers, hold the applause. I have arrived. Good. I'm glad I've listened to you. I held the applause. It was supposed to be a surprise in the first place, so whatever. Not the best start to a stream ever, but I think we can pick it up from here. You know, once the paper gets eaten, which is always the high point of these streams. There we go. Our promo is very Redditor coded, very basic, but I think it is very educational for anybody who, you know, wants to know the exact building blocks of food, you know, literally. So there you go. Promo is posted. Chat is pulled up. McBurgerness, welcome to the stream. Oh, we're going to give our score for the day. Now, the hiccups we had with the first failed iteration of the stream, I haven't had to, like, cancel a stream in, like, I think 2.5 years, so I'm glad we kind of ended our cool, you know, number of days without accidents thing, so we're going to have to take that sign down. But we're feeling a... Hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. An 8.2 out of 10. I'm pretty proud of that. Do we have that? Okay, we're cool. Yeah, so that's my score for the day. And I think it's quite decent because this new job, I'm getting the hang of it very slowly. And also, without giving too many details, this job naturally entails me mediating conflict, which, of course, the paper stream, given how heated things get, you guys always love talking about Brexit, and then things get heated, and then you guys start throwing brown middle finger emojis everywhere. Me moderating that, it made me realize, wow, you guys are very special. You guys are very chronically online, and you guys have, I'll repeat the word again, a very special aptitude, very special interests as you're watching the stream, as you guys are regulars, and so I feel like that would prepare me for a summer camp counseling thing. And apparently, I'm very good at managing a crowd of youngsters and kind of keeping them entertained, and also, I mean, the thing is that these are kids where people just regularly discount the things they're saying and they just don't care. And I know what that feels like, you know? Sometimes it feels like I'm preaching to a non-existent choir with this stream. So it's like, I think that anything can be interesting. It's not really up to the speaker. It's up to the listener, you know? And so as a listener, I've been working on just whatever these kids are talking about. I get interested, I reciprocate on top of that, and I shock myself at just how good I am at getting invested in these conversations that I would never even imagine in a million bloody years ever being invested in. And that's great, and that's what leads to having that appreciation and attention reciprocated, which is great. You got to give some to get some. So all in all, not to get serious on you guys, but that is why today was so good, because I was able to maximize that and minimize ridiculous emergencies where people would be running in like open traffic and I'd have to like grab them and stop them. I don't like that part of the job. I don't like that part. I'm not the I don't want to be a human boundary. I don't like being a human wall, but I mean, you know, you can't have a building without a wall, and we're trying to have a foundation here at the Y. So after all, we are the Young Men's Christian Association, and what is a Christian association without overbearing boundaries? So that's what I'm going to be, so that's fine. But I've been working, I had a test today. I was like, not like school test, but a test I gave to myself, which is, I'm going to be like the lenient one, and let's see how like far we go. Like, I'm not going to be finicky. If he puts his hand in a water fountain, even if it's green, algae-infested water, it's like, you know what? I'm going to let you do that. What could possibly happen that would be overwhelmingly negative? His hand gets a little wet. He can wipe it off on his shirt. We're not going to pretend like these kids are so stupid that like they can't take responsibility for their own actions. So his hand's wet, wipe it on your shirt or get a napkin. You can do what you like. I'm not going to be like, don't put your hand there. Don't put your foot there. I'm done with that. I tried it and I think I'm good. So obviously within reason. Like if he does try to run into oncoming traffic, then obviously, anyways, with all that said, about 5 minutes in, maybe like 7, I don't know how far in we are, but let's get into the eating. All right. For those of you who are new here, yes, it seems like I talk, but trust me, we're supposed to be eating. It's just that I can't help myself. So, plus I'm very thirsty, so this is really me hydrating myself, because if I keep forgetting these streams, I will miss out on my daily hydration through this. Also, my job is my explanation as to why I'm a little sunburned. I swear, I thought I applied sunscreen, but apparently I've spent a lot of time indoors, as you can tell. Actually, there are some stats that I believe Mesathula gave me about a year ago, many, many streams ago, where I have apparently, according to his calculations that may or may not be completely made up, but I'll believe him here, I have 1,800 hours of footage only through this streaming series, which is very impressive. If we have each stream averaging about, half an hour? No, that makes no sense, because 1,800 hours would mean that I'd have to make each stream out of the 900 I've done like 2 hours long. That's not true. That's never happened. Yeah, no, I think he was just making shit up. Never mind. but it's still probably an impressive amount of time, I don't think any human being on Earth is ever going to actually be able, like mentally nor practically, be able to watch all my streams in a row. So there is no such thing as a paper stream marathon. But when we're done with the big streaming series at day 1000, I might just plug everything in and just, calculate how much time it is in total. I mean, it's a question that can't be unanswered. I have to know the answer to that question. How goes it Moii? It's a very Hawaiian sounding nickname for a guy who is 0% Hawaiian. Well, Moses, I like that nickname actually. I think that'll stick. We're gonna try and remember that. Oh, Jesus, gotta apply more sunscreen. That's what I gotta do. How it goes good. It goes good. 7. Your guys' chats are extra confusing right now. Well, I'm an 8.2, so I win. But yeah, me. Oh yeah, that was my answer to your question. There we go. And I'm just gonna do this as a test, even though you don't count. But we have I think the first Moses appearance in 2 days. So congratulations, Moses, for showing up. Okay, there we go. If you want to know, that is the reason why I had to start and then restart the stream, because of that little visual that I get to add through OBS. I worked very hard on it. Thank you. Literally just copy and pasted from a green screen account on YouTube, but I'm not a big fan of streaming like in the hour of 4, because it's like the perfect combination of natural light hitting the wall across from our backyard and hitting my face. It exposes all of the ridiculous dimples. I look really old. Also, it exposes my sunburn. It's just the worst combination of things. So, pardon me, this is kind of like a makeup off type situation here. 8.2, Dan, what's the nature of this joyous occasion? Thank you for caring to ask. All you gotta do is rewind my stream about 3 minutes, and you'll know. Hello, Shy. Ooh, first female viewer. Here, let's do a... Okay, there we go. How are you doing? Feel free to give your score, as well as your explanation for aforementioned score. Yeah, today's just good. Today's good. And my coworkers are asking me, how was your day? And I think I gave like a pretty weak 7, because then I said it's mostly anticipation. And it's so funny because this is a camp for kids with autism. They're just treating me like a camper. This lady was like, thank you so much for telling me that. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, that's just your protocol. That's your protocol on how to talk to campers, and you're just doing it with me. Thank you. I'm glad I'm getting paid to be here, though, so that's cool. It was a really positive experience, though. It is an interaction-based job, which, like, I mean, I guess being a busser is an interaction-based job, but this truly is something where, like, I don't know, man. I just not to sound like I have a big head, but the things about a job that most people wouldn't tolerate or not like or be allergic to, this is the stuff I thirst for. It is exhausting, and I do get sunburn, and the parts where I'm worrying about someone running into oncoming traffic, yes, no, I don't think you'd have to be a twisted upside down person in order to enjoy something like that. But the parts that I enjoy when it comes to the interaction, the synergy, that's cool. That's cool. And based off, kind of general information I've gotten over the years, most people find that part exhausting, which I don't know. I really think that it's, even though no problem is directly being solved, it does make me feel like I actually am kind of creating something, I don't know, with other people. Super Mondo Man here. Hello. Oh, here, let me, thank you so much for showing up, Super Mondo Man. We really appreciate your paper stream patronage. Did I screw up? Wait, hold on. This is not the right... What? Yeah, welcome, Mondo Man. Good brother, just working, maybe moving into a place with the girlfriend. I know, he really is flaunting how he's really just a step up on the human pyramid above all other paper stream viewers, including me. Girlfriend and employed? Jesus, I'm so jealous. Moses says 1 a.m. What does that mean? Oh, I see. Shia's previous answer. 5.5, just been doing nothing but playing games, to be honest. Like what games? Like Sudoku? You tell me what game you played. We got to get more information so I can maintain a conversation. My social skills teacher back in 5th grade told me that's what I have to do to make a conversation. So what games are you playing? And so while Shai types her answer out to that question, okay, I'm missing context here. Moses, my mom kept me up until 1 because she was telling me all of this biblical apocalyptic type stuff. I'm really sorry. I hope you know that I think that even if you aren't seeing God in, say, the form of a person, I believe that the closest thing, confirmed existence of God that we can have is the idea, and you guys think I'm doing a bit or like it's going to be a punchline. I'm not going to make a fart joke. Like, this is my actual position. I think that our blind faith, the way we're built, if we believe that we can do a thing, then we can. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can either be negative or positive. And I did talk about this before. There's a lady named Pat Raris, and she said, whether or not you say you can or you can't, you will be correct. And I think the idea in at least most common religions about faith, believing that, some over and above deity will grant you the thing you want if you just, have faith that it'll happen because you believe in it. And it can be like, oh, I'm adhering to these standards of the Bible or whatever. I'm believing that God is real or something. But I don't think any of that matters. It's just the fact that I believe that the world will naturally allow this to happen, and so it happens. But that's the thing. That's how our minds are built in tandem with the universe. The universe and the way nature is built, when it comes to critical moments that will determine our success, our brains need to be in a certain mind state. And if our brains are in a certain flow state of thinking, we are guaranteed to get what we want or to be satisfied at the very least. Because at the end of the day, what we all want is satisfaction. Even if you want a specific thing, it really is leading to satisfaction. So I think the idea of, like, say, God's plan, or if something doesn't turn out the way you want it, but you still believed, and so something else happened that made you happy, that's how religion works, and I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think that the God that I believe in is the nature of how the universe is built and the very invisible hyper-object system that exists that says if you have blind faith in an outcome, it will happen, not because of some conscious guy in the clouds, but because the universe is built in a way that naturally that's the path of least resistance. People call, I don't know if it's, I don't know what I should call it. I think it's like, it's connected to chaos theory, except it's not. It's just how the laws of nature are, happen. Path of least resistance. Generally speaking, the more you optimize your positive outlook on stuff, the more likely it is to happen. That is what I think an overarching deity, God, that's the closest thing I can believe in, with full proof. That to me is proven to exist. Wasn't that a really funny rant? I bet you guys loved the fart jokes in that one. But I actually believe in that, so if anybody who's in the kitchen wants to debate that one, but I really do believe in that. Congrats, Burger Man. What's poppin', Mondo? I'm also 30. You'll get there, G. Oh, I'm also 30. Okay, never mind. I really thought you were 14. Maybe it's because of your name, McBurgerness. So never mind. I was like, okay, that's fine. 30 with a girlfriend is pretty. You would not believe how many like hairless 30-year-olds have no girlfriend. There's at least like 14 out there. I've seen a lot, like maybe a dozen and a half 30-year-olds with no girl. So just so you know, it's you're in the right place. If Christianity, okay, Shy says Roblox ... I'm not sure. I wish I could pin that message so it could be like our stream's catchphrase, but I can't, so now it's just like a random thing you said. If Christianity has been the dominant religion for the past 2,000 years, maybe the people did see something when Jesus actually lived. A thing that I think is much more mentally contagious than an actual sighting of Jesus is a very optimistic idea of Jesus. I think if you tell a story, regardless of whether or not it's true, and it's inspiring, and the bottom line of the story is make your life better and you'll feel better, and also you never actually die and there's a much better version of this life waiting for you after you die. That's a lot more sticky. Even if Jesus existed and he like turned bread into gold or whatever he did, he turned a sandal into a shoe, he turned water to wine, that's what he did, then like I think that like even if he did that, that'd be less sticky of a mental idea than Jesus is watching you. And if you die and you don't masturbate, then he will bring you to heaven where you can masturbate all you want. Like, that's an awesome idea. Like, everyone will want to adhere to that. So, I have some nice Jesus locks growing. Well, now I'm just imagining what you look like, and I imagine you just look like Freddy from Fish Tank. The man existed, yes. He had a real name and a birthday. Yeah, no, I know he existed, but, like, did he turn sandals to shoes? Like, that's the question. Was he actually son of God, or was he just son of, like, some random hobo? Like, I feel this is very blasphemous. Also, I'm working with the Young Men's Christian Association. I hope I don't get fired for saying that. I hope God isn't watching and God doesn't write a HR complaint to my managers. But, like, I just think, I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. Again, I believe agnostic means, unless, I remember I got into a debate with my dad over this, but, like, agnostic means that I believe there is no proof in either direction that is conclusive. And it's not, and it's not like, sure, most likely God doesn't exist, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of stuff for science yet to explain. Not because it's incapable, but I just think, like, I still have trouble understanding how my consciousness can exist if there's just a bunch of particles in my head, I'm sure there's some scientific explanation. You could just say, it just is all of the atoms in your brain, and that's your consciousness. But to me, my consciousness, the fact that my, people call it a soul, people say my perspective is in my head. Like, I've been seeing out of my head and thinking in this physical object, and that's my perspective. I think, that's the way I interpret consciousness. Also the Big Bang. You're telling me a singularity exploded and before the singularity there was nothing, but there wasn't nothing. There was a singularity. A singularity isn't nothing. It's very little. But clearly a bunch of bullshit exploded from the singularity. That's what the Big Bang was. Fuck you, Bill Gates, or whatever scientist discovered the Big Bang. That does not explain how there was nothing before the universe, all right? Before the Big Bang, there was nothing, my ass. I don't believe in that. I think science has a long way to go. So again, I don't believe that either perspective is conclusive. Moses says, God writing to the HR department. Ha ha. You think this is funny? My job's at stake here. Okay, I hope God takes it easy on me. Hey, XYZ company, fire this paper-addicted kid for blasphemy. That's true, yeah. When I started this series, I think I already was, if there is a hell, I'm going to go there, and there's going to be stacks of paper for me to eat. Actually, it reminds me of my favorite Twilight Zone episode, where it was like a guy who loves being bad or something, or he loves punishment. He's like a masochist. I think I'm misremembering the episode because he didn't whip himself or something. He's like a dirty thief and he steals shit. And he's announcing, because there's like some Christian lady with a stroller as he's like stealing her jewels, and she's like, God is gonna bring you to hell. And then the guy's like, yeah, I bet hell is gonna be fiery and people are gonna be poking my ass with a trident like thing, the thing that in hell that the demons poke you with. I love pain. Poke my ass, please. And then he gets to hell, and the idea of the episode, spoilers, I guess, but this is like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. It's pretty basic, but like he goes to hell, and each version of hell is personalized to what that person doesn't like. So he spends all his time in like Christian boarding school, being taught how to like sell books to people. Like that's the whole episode, and he's in his personal hell. He misjudged what he thought hell would be off his preconceived notion, based off a generic image of hell, and then he goes to hell. And he's being comforted by his mother, who's trying to feed him some like chamomile tea, and that's his personal hell. And then he's like, no, and that's the end of the episode. And Rod Serling's like, a man who thought that hell would be a fire, but instead it was a mother with chamomile tea. You'll find out more about that on the Twilight Zone, except you won't, because little did
you can definitely do a better Rod Serling.
I know, I just didn't like implement. That was not good.
One of the most iconic voices. TV history.
I forget what he sounded. It's been a while since I watched The Twilight Zone. All I remember is that episode. Fuck. Brian Case blasphemed on 6/25/25 notes. You don't need to make none of that happen. All I've been talking about is the Rod Serling I did a Rod Serling impression for 30 minutes. That's what I've been doing.
Didn't even sound like Captain Picard.
I'm not even trying. Yeah, you think I can do like 2 voices? I can do like 6. I think my Sean Connery impression and my Patrick Stewart impression kind of just blended together.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know. I don't think I ever did a Sean. You like imposed the Sean Connery label on my Patrick Stewart. It was a
little bit like Sean Connery.
No, it doesn't. Fuck you. I'm Captain Picard. Number 1, I have to pee card. Get it? That does not sound like Sean Connery, for the record. I like to think that hell is not this generic fireplace, but more or less a reflection of the sin/fears that the person had. Moses, reading that, I think you'd like The Twilight Zone. You should watch that episode I just described for 10 minutes. It actually is a really good show. Like, I mean, what other 1950s TV shows does it have to compete with, huh? Beverly Hillbillies? Get out of here.
It's more like 60s.
Oh.
Maybe even 70s.
No. It was in black and white. It was not, you know. Give It to Beaver. Yeah, like shows like that.
I think that was the porn. You must be thinking of Leave It to Beaver.
Oh. Okay, never mind. Whatever, man. Hey, is there any update on this teacher who got offended by our video? Yes, I sent him an email of my revised video calling him out. The video title is, my teacher wanted me to take down my video. Or no, my teacher wants my video removed. It got 3 times the views of the original video, per the Barbra Streisand effect, as already demonstrated on day, I believe, 903. I sent the video to him with a very ominous email with no subject line. He has not responded, although somehow I cannot send emails to him anymore, which leads me to believe that he blocked me. Which, by the way, if any actual school board action could be taken, I don't think that would happen. And also, I checked the code of conduct. I made no such infractions. He's just a butthurt little bald loser. So, for the record, I don't think that any updates are going to happen beyond that point, but he did block me over Canvas, which I didn't think was a thing that could happen. So,
Maybe
there's
your
that.
class is just over.
No. I can still send Ian Tordella stuff after my class with him's over. I think I definitely. But anyways.
That means he probably requested somehow that you.
Stop harassing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite ready. I'm getting the sauce ready.
I'm just gonna add some to my salad.
All right.
Do you want the sauce with it or not?
No, I was just thinking of adding some meat, and then I'll have some sauce later.
Okay, sure.
Is it?
Go for it.
Let me try.
Some of it should be cold. One side will be less cold.
Well, I'm not gonna touch it all. I'm just gonna.
We have, I believe, 3 pieces left. Or this is a big piece. And these are there we go. 3 pieces. Ready to count down? Oh, and thank you for asking, Moses. I appreciate it. Ian, a.k.a. Terrence Fletcher, benevolent brother. Who's Terrence Fletcher? aka Terrence. Oh, you mean the guy from Whiplash? No, he's not. Ian Tordello is like the opposite of that guy from Whiplash. Like there'd be guys like there'd be people throwing paper airplanes during his jazz class. And he's like, stop, guys! I can't even hear myself think over here, and no one would listen to him. He had no presence. Like there were coincidental gusts of wind that flew through the open windows that had more presence than him. So like, I think Ian Tordello is like reverse Fletcher. No, he's not benevolent at all. He's a little like morally ambiguous, but he's not benevolent. He's not benevolent enough, which I don't really say about many teachers, but he just straight up lets shit happen. And then he tries to improve the class just for him. And it's not benevolent, it's just stupid. Like he makes really bad decisions. Momo, so kind and caring, sweet boy. Hey, you gotta conform to the nickname you gave him. Moivoy or something. Moyi. Yeah, I like that.
Bree,
I like
did you
that.
get anything out of your jazz class and stuff?
Yeah, friendships, you know? I mean, that's the reason I even know E-Man right now. That was cool. I don't know.
So you got something out of it.
Ian says, yo, hey, Ian, welcome to the stream, everybody. All right, well, I mean, you're gonna...
That
Fuck.
must be Ian Tordello.
Yeah, no, Ian 30, which is a different... Actually, yeah, that would be a great, perhaps the other guy who's Ian, the short kid, maybe he's just coincidentally unrelated to Ian 30, and this has just been my teacher the whole time. Yo, I'm Ian Tordello. Bad decisions, like, yeah, the time he stuck my combo in this dirty little corner. To be fair, every corner in Mesa College is dirty and little, but I get what you mean. I don't... Wait a minute, no, I don't get what you mean. What do you mean, dirty little corner? It was a very normal room that we were performing in. Or, oh, you mean, like, the last semester you did that I wasn't in. Yeah, they did stick you, like, it was to the left of that sound engineering door, and there were spider webs and probably dirty pieces of shit. That's where the trash can normally was, and I don't think they slept underneath there. Yeah, you guys were... I think Marco's drum kit was literally just on top of a big pile of garbage. Maybe it improved acoustics, I don't know. Ian 30 says, what's crackin'? Yeah, nice try, my jazz teacher. Trying to sound young. What's crackin'? Nice try. It's normally people say what's poppin'. What's crackin'? That's like a 1970s phrase. Get out of here.
Isn't it cracking a giant sea monster?
Dad, why are you even like saying stuff like crack? It just...
Do you not want me to say this?
No. You can say more stuff. Just you can say any. You say so many awesome things. Why'd you have to make a bad pun? To be fair, I did make a bad pun too. Today in the stream, only once. All right, Dad, you get a free pass. It's fine. You're good.
Okay.
What's cracking like the sea monster? Come on now. All right, this is the last piece. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you McBurger. Wait, hold on. Thank you McBurgerness. Thank you Moses. Thank you Shy. Thank you Supermondo Man. Thank you Ian 30. I will see you tomorrow. That'll be day 927. Hopefully I'll be less sunburned. One more piece right there. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. All right, 3, 2, 1.